Hello and welcome, seekers of tiny truths. Today we're diving into the mysterious world of miniature fortune telling. That's right, we're building a teeny tiny dollhouse fortune teller room packed with magical vibes and a crystal ball. Also, welcome to my channel, Notorious Crafts, where I make all things dollhouse miniature. First step, we're going to summon the crystal ball. So I have this pack of adorable starry earrings. I'm going to grab this multicolored one. I think it is perfect. I have a few different packs of bead caps that I'm going to use as the base of the crystal ball. So first, I'm just going to test a few of them out to see how they look. I feel like this one is too big and just really overpowers the crystal ball. So I'm going to try some other smaller ones to see if they work better with the size of this crystal ball. And here's a much smaller one that's also a darker metal. I actually think this one works perfect. The spirits of the crystal ball agree with me. So we're going to go ahead and use this one as the base of the crystal ball. I'm trimming the stem of the earring with a pair of pliers since it is just a little bit too long. Now I'm gluing the crystal ball to the base. And since I'm gluing metal to metal, I'm using my E6000 glue so that it can really adhere together. Make sure the glue does not touch the glass because it will permanently frost it and you will not be able to get it off. Now let this stand for a few hours so that it can properly adhere together. I made the candles from polymer clay, so I'm using translucent clay and mixing it with some white clay. After the two clays are mixed together, I'm just rolling it into a cylinder and then cutting it into different sizes so that I have different sized candles. I'm using this ball tip tool to create a divot in the clay, and this will make it look like some of the wax has been melted already where the wick is going to go. I'm using this needlepoint tool to create some holes into the very top of each of the candles, and then I will use some thread to glue in what is supposed to be a wick. I'm also using this white liquid clay to make it look like some of the wax is melting over the edge. I'm cutting up some of this black sewing thread into smaller pieces and then inserting it into each of the candles. Now, every fortune teller needs a table, so I'm using this round piece of wood as well as some popsicle sticks, and I'm going to cut them with my miter shear cutter. Also, all the links to everything I'm using is down below in the description. I was originally just going to use this round piece of wood as the table, but it is just a little bit too small, so I'm just cutting it in half, and then I'm trimming this jumbo popsicle stick that's going to go in the middle of them just to create a nice oval table and to make the table even bigger. I'm putting some markings where I need to cut the rest of this popsicle stick before I glue everything down. I'm sanding down the edges of the popsicle stick that I just cut with some sandpaper because we can't have a crusty looking table. I'm using wood glue to connect all the wood pieces together. So I'm just adding really small amounts of glue using a toothpick. I don't want too much because once I connect the pieces together, too much glue would spill over the edge. Even with the wood glue, this table is very delicate and can break easily, so I'm just adding some pieces of wood glue where I connected the pieces together, and this will just help reinforce this table and make it a lot more sturdy. I'm now going to add these thin popsicle sticks underneath the table as trim, and this will also help keep the legs of the table nice and sturdy. So I'm just using my miter shears just to trim the popsicle sticks. I love these miter shears. They cut wood so well. And then just shaving it down with the sandpaper to get rid of those crusty edges. then doing a test fit just to see how long I need the popsicle stick to be, and then going to trim the rest of it down. Now I'm just gluing all of these pieces down to the rest of the table. For the legs of the table, I'm just using the square piece of wood that I have and trimming each piece the same exact size so that the table will be level. And then adding some wood glue to where the legs are going to be touching the corners of the rest of the table. Just before the glue dries and the legs set in place, I'm flipping the table over just to make sure that everything is nice and level. All right, to be honest with you, this table's not looking very pretty. We have many different colors of wood going on, so I'm going to add some tablecloth to it just to add some extra flair. Remember, if your table isn't ready to predict fate and spill tea, you're not done yet. I'm using some blue fabric as the tablecloth because I think it looks the most mystical. I'm doing a test fit of everything just to see how it looks. I'm placing the crystal ball on top as well as some candles. It still looks just a little bit boring, so to add that extra mystical flair, I have this blue bag with stars and moons on it just to look very mystical. So I'm going to take this bag apart and use it as the top tablecloth. Also, my two cats love watching me craft. They usually end up falling asleep about halfway through whatever it is I'm making, but at least I can provide some entertainment for them. I'm just taking this bag apart. I'm just cutting up the seams. It's actually pretty easy to take this bag apart. I also noticed that this bag has silver moons and stars on the other side of the fabric, which I think I will use that instead of the gold ones. I'm curious if any of you guys have gone to see a fortune teller and what was your experience like? I have only gone twice and oh my gosh, was she wrong every single time. Just wrong about everything. And I just never went back, but I just love the vintage fortune teller aesthetic, which is why I really wanted to make this. I'm really loving how these silver stars and moons look on top of the blue tablecloth. I'm definitely going to keep the silver over the gold. Let me know down below in the comments if you prefer the gold one. Tablecloth is just not staying in place and the edges keep coming up. I thought about gluing it down, but instead I'm using this clear elastic hairband. So I'm just going to tie it around and this is going to keep the tablecloth in place. The tablecloth is also too long and it's going over the legs, so I'm going to grab my fabric scissors and just trim the ends. I'm doing the same thing for the top tablecloth. I'm grabbing an elastic hairband and just wrapping it around the top of the table. I designed these fortune teller printables that are available for sale on my website as well as on Etsy. I also want to thank you guys for supporting me and those of you that have already bought some of my printables. I really appreciate you guys supporting me. I sent these off to my printer so that they can get printed out and using the Epson ET3850 to print all of my printables. I made these rugs already in the last video that I made. I'll place a link down below in the description how I made these rugs. I'm starting to place everything in my room box just so I can see how it's all coming together. I'm cutting out this blue starry background to use as a backdrop for the back wall. Next, I'm cutting out some of the tarot cards. I do have them in different sizes and different color schemes. I'm going to cut out some of these smaller ones since these are going to be best to fit my table. It would have been better if I printed these on some thicker cardstock just so that they look like real cards. I always forget to load my printer with some of the better cardstock paper that I use for printables, but I didn't want to waste the ink because I had already printed them, so it was too late. I cut out one of these vintage looking fortune teller signs. I'm going to paint it as well as paste it on some wood to create a thicker sign. I'm using popsicle sticks for the base of the sign, and I'm cutting these up into much smaller pieces, and then I'm going to attach them together using wood glue. I'm painting the edges as well as the border of the sign with black acrylic paint. I'm going to leave the center of this wood piece blank since I will be gluing down the paper to the rest of this sign, and if I add paint in the center, it may end up falling off later on, so it'll just adhere better if it's left unpainted. I added a little bit of wood glue to the back of the paper, and now I'm adding it directly onto the piece of wood. Next, I'm making this sign that says, "See your future." So again, I'm using popsicle sticks as the backing of the sign just to make it nice and sturdy. I'm adding the wood glue directly on the paper and then spreading it out as thin as possible using a toothpick, and spreading it out nice and thin will prevent it from gooping out over the sides once I press the wood in. Next, I'm painting the sign. I should have done this before I glued it down in case I made a mistake and had to reprint this, but too late for that now. I have to be very careful when painting this now. Want this to be a freestanding sign, so I'm just gluing a popsicle stick to the back so that it can stand all on its own. I'm making two more sign images. One is going to be a shining moon and the other is going to be a crystal ball. So I'm using some acrylic paint just to paint the piece of paper and give these pictures some color. For the crystal ball, I'm using purple and blue acrylic paint and diluting it with water for a nice cloudy effect on the crystal ball. Now I'm attaching these to the wooden sign using some wood glue and thinning out the glue using a toothpick. Now it's time to layer on the magic and put everything together. This is always my favorite part of the build, is when everything comes together. I attach the background as well as these signs using painter's tape, since this will only be in my room box temporarily until I move on to my next project. And painter's tape will not damage the white paint that I have on the walls. Gosh, I keep knocking everything over. This makes me want to glue everything down. Turned away for 5 seconds, and of course my cat made it inside my room box, which is why I have this plexiglass cover that slides right in to protect my creations from my cats. And there you have it, a miniature fortune teller room where destinies are told. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the tiny fortunes being whispered. You will subscribe and hit the bell and like this video. I hope you guys had as much fun watching this as I did making it. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching the entire video. It really does mean the world to me, and I am just so thankful for each and every one of you.